Hello, friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Career Talk. My name is Ramesh Sharma. I'm a senior consultant based in Netherlands. And at Career Talk, we invite industry leaders to share their knowledge with all of us. We have received many requests to create a session on AI. So we decided to bring you this practical hands-on session where we are going to create our first AI agent. And to guide us, we have Tony Ramchandani with us. He is the author of the book A Generative Journey to AI, which is available on Amazon. If you wish, you can check the link in the description box. Tony is currently working as a VP at MSCI Pune. But friends, before we begin, if you're new here, please subscribe to our channel. We have plenty of valuable content for all of you. And if you find this session helpful, which I'm sure you will, don't forget to hit that like button. So without further delay, let's get started. Welcome, Tony. Thank you for giving your time today. Over to you, Tony.
Yeah, sure. Sunand, thank you first of all for the opportunity. And I've seen you a lot doing career talk, and this is good platform. I would like everybody to join this platform and be part of very exciting journey, very vibrant community. This career talks is. Um, Thank you, Sun. And let me share my screen now to briefly touch base upon the history of AI and um, how it is today compared to what it was. So in 1940s or 50s rather, AI was basically conceptualized, and then Alan Turing created a test which was comparing human output against the AI output, which is still valid today. And they coined the term artificial intelligence then. And in 1960s, 70s, the early developments happened, and over there Eliza, which was a human kind of a chatbot, they tried to create. It was the first known chatbot in the history. And then the winter came in. What is the winter? Basically, it's about where there was less investment because the outcome was not that good. Obviously, because of there was problem with computation power and cloud technologies were not available, so data storage was a problem, and that's where AI gone into a space where not much of the investment was happening. But then later expert system started picking up the kind of an AI systems which started picking up in the market. But then in 90s, basically the late 90s, the IBM Deep Blue defeated the chess champion Gary, and over there inception of machine learning projects which started getting its
Yeah,
attention.
sorry to interrupt you, but I still remember this Gary Kasparov thing. It's a huge news that time, and all the newspaper are
Yeah,
flooded with that. Sorry, I just want to share because it's still, it's a big thing at that time that okay, someone has beat it, the
yeah.
human. Yeah. So sorry. Go
So
ahead.
there, no worries. There was no TVs, only newspapers, right? So it was no TV, no
TV
phone,
is
and that
there,
was
but they're
a
not that popular that time. On
limited,
the
very
90s, there
limited.
TVs are black and
Yeah,
white, but then it's still like it's a big news that time. So yeah.
correct. And that was a good time, to be honest. And then the foundation of generative AI happened in 2010, basically when we saw deep learning, which the rise of deep learning. And over there, um, deep learning was more easy for more data and complex data. It can automatically find the patterns in the data and react on top of it, unlike machine learning, wherein they were machine learning is basically solving the specific problem at a time. And then 2014, I think GANs were introduced, which were the foundational stone. For the first time, AI created an image, just like a human can do, and that's where the funding started in generative AI space over there. And later in 2018 somewhere, Google released a paper called as Attention All You Need, where they introduced the transformer model architecture. And what you can see, GPT, ChatGPT, and Grok and Claude, Google, all of the LLMs which you are using today are based on top of that transformer model. And yes, we know where we have headed now, and what is happening. We all know about that. And speaking about that, I just wanted to continue on the journey later. What happened later? This is more important and known to us. Rather, we have seen this world changing with our eyes. In 2020, GPT-3 took the um, came into the existence, and then what we can see today later in 2014 second half, DeepSeek, Quen, Llama, Gamma, all of the models, like, they started getting in the news. And there are lots and lots of publicly available models are there, you can see in this timeline. But these are the, I mean, limited ones, but publicly available, which are available over here. And this is still continuing. We knew that DeepSeek V3, how it created havoc in the stock market and in the organizations. um, so that's about the LLMs and the history of you know um, the large language models. Now, talking about, coming to our topic, which is called as AI agent. Now, so far what we discussed was important to understand, because where we are headed is only can be understand if we know the history of it. See, agents are nothing but basically the use of tools, and it gives superpower to an LLM. An LLM simply cannot, let's say, book your tickets, right? You need something which can, let's say, book your ticket or perform action on your behalf. But if you ask ChatGPT, it cannot do that for you. And that's where also they are investing. There's a lot of investment going on in AI agents as well. Um, Computer use by Mistral and if I'm naming it correctly, and then operator from OpenAI, and browser use. There are a lot of agents you can see hitting the market now. Usage of tools historically, I mean, we know human always use tools throughout the mankind. First, they started with a reflex agent, wherein you just perform an action as a reflective action on what happens. Then there's rule-based systems, which were called rule-based agents, and then reinforcement learning, which is a kind of machine learning, which per base agents come to the picture. And then now we can see LLM based agents, right? And that's where hitting the market now. We can see a lot of things, a lot of good frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph, Fee Data. They are implementing these LLMs, basically LLM based agents. And then eventually the market is heading toward AGI agent, where you know um, an agent can perform anything and everything to solve the problem. So that's about the history of AI agents. Now, just to define it once again for the audience, is like, AI agents understand the task in natural language, and it can use any LLM. I mean, obviously, we need to design it like that. It can use any LLM which is available in Skitty, and it you can give any sort of data or documents in which AI agents knowledge can be added using that document. There are code executors. Suppose agents need to execute the code, so we can create such code executors. And obviously we can see the output, and any ML model, machine learning model, if you want to use along with the LLM. So that's how you can do this. Credit for this picture is to Abhishek Reddy. And um, we are now heading towards the implementation of our first agent. I hope you are excited. So then, any thoughts on that?
Super
Shall we
excited.
move on?
Yeah, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Shall we move on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So having said that, we need to first understand that to create an AI agent, we need to pick and choose one framework, right? And as I said to you, that a lot of frameworks are available, but over here we are going to use LangChain and LangGraph as our frameworks. Now, they uh, they have very easy implementations. I'm not going to go a lot into that, because that is not what we are going to cover. But just one liner definition, they give you enough documentation and abstract methods in which you can connect to any LLM and perform any actions. It can give you authority to create and execute code and talk to documents. So basically what we have seen in this picture, all of these things which are around the AI agents, um, LangChain and LangGraph can provide you, right? So we are going to install certain libraries, LangChain based libraries. If you want to use any model, you need to install that library, or you need to import that library rather over here. So in this case, we are going to use Grok uh, model API. If you want to get that API for this particular, to reiterate this demo on your local machine, then you can come over here on the Grok cloud based model and you can generate your API under API keys. Just remember to copy it once, because if you move out of it, you cannot see it.
So
The good
Tony,
news is, uh-huh,
sorry. So
yeah, go on.
just for our audience understanding, so the very first thing which they are supposed to do, come to this website console.grok, and they are able to
Yes.
download this API. That's the first step, right?
They need to create their API. And once you come here on the API keys, you need to create your API key. It's pretty simple. You need to click on it. Okay, as soon as you click it, you just need to give the name of it. Let's say I would say the career stocks API key, right? And you name it and you hit enter. Okay, as soon as you hit enter, then you will see a key will appear. Just copy it. Remember, you will not be in position to copy it. So see, this existing, I cannot now copy. Either I can delete or I can change the name of it, but I will not be able to this read this API key. Okay, so make sure you are keeping it somewhere uh, safe. And again, what I'm going to showcase you, it's free of cost, so it is not going to cost you a penny. That's a good thing, and that's where you know I have chosen those models. Now, about models, right? So there are a lot of models which are free to use. So but obviously it's not unlimited free. There are limitations, and this demo will be under very much under limitation. You can try run it 10 times, it will still not cross the limit. But I'll just give you a disclaimer. So there are a lot of models. See, these are the models. Again, I will not go on these models, but you can use them. There are preview models as well. There are available models, and there is Python code if you want to, or JavaScript, however you want to use them. So this is available to use. There's a good website. Go and experiment, free to use. You can change the keys if you want for the different projects, but don't share with anyone else. Keep it to you. Now, one important thing I would like to tell you before I run the demo. I'm running this in Google Colab. So Google Colab is free to use software as a service from Google. It can be paid as well if you want to go and purchase or rent their GPU. But what we are going to do today is we are running in a CPU, so that it is again free of cost. You don't have to pay for it. Just come here, click on the new notebook, come on the files, click on the new notebook in the drive which is connected to your Google Drive. So this data will not be lost. There are good features about you can execute the code and you
Sorry
can write the
again.
text.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Tony. Just again for our audience who are doing it very
Yeah,
first time. So they are
correct.
supposed to come on Google. Can you just go on Google and just type
Google
collab.research
Colab.
dot Google
They
Colab?
just Google
That's it.
Colab. Just do
And
Google
then they have to
Colab
just
and
come on file and the new. Yeah. If you can just show it, that's also okay.
yeah,
Because
I'll
yeah,
I'll
for
show it
you,
right away.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's at
Yeah.
times
Even though
for
for
the
us it's a
first time.
small thing, but
Yeah,
then someone is doing it first time. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
topic,
That's
right?
okay.
My first AI agent, right?
Yeah.
So we have to tell each and everything. Cool.
So once you come on this page, you will
Yeah.
see such kind of the welcome page available, and
Yeah.
this pop-up will automatically appear. If it does not appear, that's okay. You can go to the file system. Um, Over here, you can click on the new notebook. Let me do it for you. And as soon as you hit on the new notebook, um, it is going to connect to your drive internally, and that's where it is going to save it. And you can see something. You can rename it if you want.
Hmm.
Um, Rename it like anything. My test, my first first notebook, and its extension is not Python, but it runs Python code. So IPYNB, that is the extension, right? And you can rename it. Lots of feature are available. I'll just brief you a few, because in the interest of time we need to cover about agent. You can connect to any runtime. So if you want to do that, and what is runtime, I'll tell you. Connect to a hosted runtime. Now Google provides you some CPU, 16 GB CPU, and good 80 GB of memory to free to use if you are using CPU. Um, See over here, if I hover, then I can see it's around 12 GB of RAM which is provided to me, and around 100 GB of memory, disk memory, which is available. But then as you use, you will see less of it. Okay, and you want to change and connect to a let's say GPU. So they provide T4 GPU free to use. Now GPU is very high compute power. They don't give you 800 GPU or L4 GPU free, but you can purchase the additional compute on by clicking on this link and following up on. TPU is something more powerful than GPU as well. Let's not go there. Um, we will stick to CPU because I know what we are going to showcase you is for everybody, and hence we are going to focus on CPU. What code we are running, you can run on your local machine as well if you have Python setup. No need of Colab as well, but it is very easy to use. That's where and shareable as well. So that's why I always prefer this, and most of the time, any person who is working on AI or data science will use this only. Now, pretty simple. You can start writing the Python code. Print, let's say I would say print high, shift enter, and you can see it is printing high. And it's as simple as that. And if you want to write text, then you can simply go and write text as well. Hi, how are you? Okay. So this is as simple as that. You can shift those cells. These are called as cells, by the way. And every cell is um, um, maybe dependent of other, basically in a session. So if you're creating a variable over here and run it in second cell, you will see that is called. But if you, without creating a variable, you will run it, let's say I would say print a. Okay, so this is going to give us sorry, this is going to give us some error because a is not defined. But over here, let's say if I say um, a equal to, let's say 10, and I rerun it, then it is printing a, right? So on and so forth. So very good to use. And disconnect and delete runtime. You can disconnect this at any point of time and you can move on. Very good resource for your learnings. You can share your notebook. Now I'll quickly jump because um, I'll cover more features over here as well. Now, there are certain libraries which are pre-installed from the AI standpoint over here in this notebook. So TensorFlow, which is a machine learning library, which is already available over here, you don't need to install. But these libraries which are using, you need to install over there. We are going to install a vector database as well. Now, vector database is stores the numeric numbers, I would say, in a nutshell. And um, if you want to learn more about vector databases, a very important aspect of AI, learning AI, you can read about it. And we are going to use Travely API as well. Now, what is Travely? It's kind of just like Google. If you in Google you web search, right? Travely gives you an API which you can use to access the internet. Just a short definition of it. Okay, so that's okay if you don't understand a lot of stuff over here. That's okay. You simply need to install this, and when you run this cell, you can see it is going to take some time. And I have pre-executed it for you. And when you see it is executed, then it will say restart your session to get an effect. And as soon as you do that, these libraries will be available to use. It takes only a few, let's say, not more than a couple of minutes to install them, unless you are running into issue, which most of the times not. And then I'll come on the agent as well. Now, what we are going to implement today is the React agent, and we are going to create an application on top of it. Now, what is React agent? React agent is going to react with respect to user's query. Now, for example, let's say that you are going to a fruit shop, and let's say, or vegetable shop rather. If you are asking the vendor that you want some fruit, then he is obviously going to show you the fruit. But if you change your mind, now you're looking for vegetables, right? So he will show you the basket of vegetables, not the fruits. So that is the reactive React way of reason and act. Now that's called React, a way of or nature of the solution. We are going to install Streamlit. Streamlit is basically something which creates a UI on top of any application, and it's very simple to use. I'll tell you how and what we can use over there, but for now you just need to install this library and will again take a few seconds and you are there. Before I jump in there, Sunan, if you can ask me any questions uh, or anything you want audience to know, so I'll take a pause.
No, I think we are good. Uh,
Okay.
but maybe a little bit slow, then it's okay. I mean, if at all possible.
Yeah, so I'll go a little slow on that now.
Yes. Maybe
Uh,
for you, it's like you are doing it so
no,
since
no,
long,
I
right?
understand. I
But if I
understand.
have to do
Uh,
it with you parallelly, so you have to be little bit slow. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah. Please, sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
thank you for that feedback. No worries, I'll take it like that. Um, so far, what we have done, just to reiterate, we have installed all the required libraries, and then over here I'm installing additional library which is called as Streamlit. Now, if you Google about Streamlit, Streamlit is a very um, pocket friendly library. It's free to use. It's not of that much of bite size as well. So you it it so imagine the web development back then. You needed to create three files at least: HTML, JavaScript, and CSS file. But it is going to generate with two lines of code. It will generate the similar UI for that. That's how powerful Streamlit is. It's easy to prototype for AI engineers, and that's where they use it. Now, I'm going to explain you most of the lines of the code over here so that you understand the gist of it. This is my API key, by the way, which I called from there. I have exposed it here. I'm going to delete after our call. Even if you are trying to use it, you will not be able to. You need to create your own. Okay. Um, and over here, what I'm doing is I'm going to first of all um, create a file which is called as app.py. See, this is created over here. Now, what is this? It is more of a file system or folder structure you can see on your PC, right? So we are into Google Colab. On the left hand side, there are a lot of features like files, whatever files you want to use over there. So I have put my image and the app.file which we just created over here, and you can create any data for your reference or whatever you need for your application. It's more of a folder structure, right? And this key thing you see over here, you can keep secrets. So I've just to showcase, I have kept my secret over here, but usually I go on this key and I add the secrets over here. See, you can see already see that I have 3 to 4 secrets which I usually use, that I have kept hidden, um, and I'm not using in this session. And then this is more of a variable stuff. So whatever you any variables you create in this collab will you can directly see the status, and for debugging purpose you can check that. And if you want to search or find and replace, you can do that. It's more of the file system the way we use our computer, right? So these are some more features of Google Colab. But let me now come back to our topic. So I'm going to import Streamlight. I'm going to call it as ST just to minimize writing the code, and that's where I'm just aliasing it to ST. I'm importing operating system. This is my operating system, the file system, and then importing re. Re is for regular expressions. I'll tell you why we need that. HTTPX, because I told you, right, the agent needs to interact with with tools like Wikipedia, with API, weather API, and all those stuff. For that, we need a HTTPX. Um, Over here, I'm using LangChain Grok model and Chat Grok because I have the Grok API key now. If you have the Open API key, you can change accordingly. Um, it's free to use, so that's why I'm showcasing you this. And you can again set your Grok API key so that this API key is available within this context, so that you can use it wisely. Now we are going to create one tool which is called as Wikipedia. Now we are going to use this tool to search anything on Wikipedia. For that, as I told you, HTTPX is required, and we are going to call this API as and when needed. I mean, agent will call, not we, but we are going creating this capability within our framework so that agent can access it. Now we need some parameters to pass on, right? What we need, action is our query. So what we are going to do, that is the action list. So basically we are going to search that, and as our search we are again going to pass the query which we have, and format is JSON what we want from this, right? And if something is not available on Wikipedia, then there is a try catch exception which says not no results found on Wikipedia. And this Simon blog search, basically I do follow this guy Simon Willison a lot. He writes very good blogs around AI, and that's where I read him, and that's why I wanted to showcase as well. At times, I use this um, to search on his blog as well what is going on in AI, and if a good article is written by him or not. So that's where I'm using his API key, which is available on this particular site, and I have opened this. So this is the blog. I would recommend if anybody is interested. He writes very good, very descriptive, and very good blogs around AI. So that's where if we want to search something, by the way, you can change this, right? If you want to do something else, any other weather API or something else, you can do that. But just to showcase, I want to keep it simple. That's where I'm calling for a blog. I'm calling for the Wikipedia. And then this particular is my SQL, because I'm going to call to its API, which is going to give me the JSON-like response. And to that JSON, we are going to just query our data, that what we need. Okay, and we pass on this query, as simple as that. Similarly, if there is no some nothing related to query found on the blog, then it will simply say that no results found in the blog. Let's say you will look for the ice cream, right, which is not available over there. So how to create, let's say, ice cream, it is not there, so it is going to not give you anything. Now just to showcase, there is a third tool which we have given uh, to um, to the tool, or AI agent rather, which is called as calculate. And in calculate, we'll give the expression, and using Python eval function, we will calculate this. Let's say 5 into 4, which it should return 20, right? Now, what I'm doing is I'm mapping them all together in one dictionary, which is called as known actions. Now, these known actions are the capabilities which I'm assigning to my AI agent, and then I'm going to create a regular expression in that my action will be passed on. So let's say, for example, action um, jump. Okay, so it will always go like this, that action and then do something, right? So for example, action search Wikipedia. Okay, so that's how we are going to use these known actions. And if something which is not available in this particular action set, then it is going to throw the error. Now, if you have followed so far, you will understand that these actions, we can put as many actions as possible, right? Or need. So this is something which we are allowing our tool to go. You have 3 hands now. You can give 4 hands. You can give 5 hands, 100 hands, and more hands you give, more versatile agent will be, but more maintenance needed. So that's where agents, you need to be very specific in terms of goal, what you need from it, right? And now we are going to create a simple chatbot class which is going to interact. It's more of a, I would say, the brain of the AI agent. I spoke about brain, right? In which, say, a brain assigns the um, actions to AI agent, or talks to. It's more of a brain of an agent, right? For human, like, we do all the reasoning part in our brain, and that's what chatbots do for us. I told you I'm using chat grok model, so I'm just creating little functions over there, like initializing this, and then I'm using the call function and then execute, basically. So execute is what it is going to actually call our model over here. In this case, I'm using Google's Gemma 2 9 billion parameter model. You can change this model. This is again very easy to use and freely available and small model comparatively, and that's where I'm going to showcase in the demo. And llm.invoke, it is going to give us the outcome the way we chat with any other chatbot. Now, having said that, I am going to create a prompt. Now, this is more of a prompt engineering space. Over here, I'm going to give the detailed prompt, and I'm going to tell it's more like few short learning, and few shot learning means I'm going to give some examples to my LLM model, and my LLM model is accordingly going to act. I'll tell you more. So let's just me read through this in a couple of seconds. You run in the loop of thought, action, pause, and observation. So these are main, React agent. How humans do that? We think and then we take action. We take a pause and then we observe, like what we did was correct or not. And at the end of the loop, output an answer whether what we did or not, right? So on and so forth. So if you don't have that action available, then return to pause, just like that, right? If somebody comes that he wants to buy vegetable, but you don't have the vegetable, what you say? You just say that no, I don't have. So you're taking a pause and then replying in, you don't have something for the person, right? Now calculate action, we are giving one example, that is few shot prompting. We are giving examples so that our model does not hallucinate and it gives us the right way to solve the problem. So I'm giving 7 into 4 divided by 3, and it is going to give the calculation and return the number. So we are using floating point syntax if necessary, if we need to use that. And then Wikipedia, we are giving example Wikipedia, we are going to search Django and it will return the summary by searching the Wikipedia, so on and so forth. Now I'm giving because I said I'm using few short learning, so I'm giving sample questions as well. What is the capital of France? Then our tool should look for the Wikipedia because it's more of a general knowledge, and then Wikipedia will give something as an answer to us, and then that will be the observation, and that is the output which LLM will translate in a way, right? And we are giving some good note that you are a basic conversation questions like hi, hello. You should answer that. I mean, because what happens at times is your agent does not answer that. So we are just want to make sure that we are creating a decent agent, not very fancy. I hope till this point is very clear. You can change the prompt as per your need, and now we are going to define the function that implement the action loop. Now over here, what we are doing is actually which action will be used or called. We are just trying to code that in a way, in a small way, right? This is our basically the agent which is we are coding right now. Um, so over there, we are just having the chatbot ready with basic prompt which we created. Next prompt is our question, user's question, and then the conversation output that's we are initializing. And it is going to iterate through so that it is able to answer till whatever iterations is needed to the user to provide the actual answer of it, right? And then we are giving the actions, we are going looping through the actions. If our action is not available over there, then it will say unknown action and it will going to break that, and it is going to tell you that no action found with respect to your question or ask. And if there is known action, then it will add the observation and will give you the conversational output. It's very simple. Now coming back to Streamlit UI, it is, as I said, you can create your Streamlit UI in few lines of code over here. uh, I just added 3 to 4 lines of code, and then we have this um, um, app ready. So I'm giving a title, which is, let's say, my name. You can change anything if you want. And I'm going to give my image so that this app can showcase my image. I'm going to give the LinkedIn profile as well so that um, I can be known in terms of, or if you want to reach out to me, right, you can give more information as and when needed. I'm going to give it an image of my book as well, just to showcase. And I'm going to title my window, which is or search box, which is called as chain of thought reactive AI agent. So this is a name I'm giving. And then markdown means what text you want to be available on the UI so that user can read through. So kind of a readme which I'm creating. So I'm just giving some inputs like input query and chain of thought loop, action thought. I'm just going to tell the user that what exactly this application is doing, kind of a readme which you have created over here, and then giving an input box. It's simple one-liner code. Enter your query, and then there's a button which submits your query, and it calls the output, which it internally calling the agent, which is in turn using the LLM and the actions, and then it is going to give the output. And if there is no query you will give and press enter, then it will give you a warning that please enter the query. Now we have created this app.py. This you can see over here. Now I'm going to install a local tunnel. What is local tunnel? Because we are running in a kind of a different operating system. This is not my PC, this is Google Colab, and that's where we need to access this app now, right? And that's where we are using this library called as local tunnel. It is going to open a tunnel wherein through that tunnel we can access the application which we are creating. It uses a password. Password is IP address of this tunnel. In this case, you need to run this command to get the IP address, which is this in this case. And now, as soon as I call this Streamlit run app.py, so if you want to run anything with Streamlit, you simply need to run this command Streamlit run. This is what you need to, and then you need to give the name of the uh, code or file which we have written. And I want the log.txt file. See, it has created a log.txt now, and it is going to open a port for this. And this is the URL where our tunnel is up and running now. And over here, as soon as you go, you will see such kind of a UI. It will ask for your tunnel password. Let me give that and click submit. As soon as I give that, it will take me to the Streamlit app, which we have just now created. You can see it is loading up. And this guy till the time it takes some time, yeah, a few seconds, but that's okay. Now these are the warnings. That's okay because maybe some library will be, this library related warning that in future releases this will be deprecated. That's okay. Just ignore them. And this is the README kind of stuff which I have written on the UI. You can see in 5 to 6 lines of code, we have created this um, what you call the app. Over here, I have given my profile picture and about my book, and then the LinkedIn profile as well. Now, let's start with the question hi, and let's see what outcome it produces. So LLM is saying that I understood. I'm ready to ready for my first question. Okay. Um, So now, Sunan, can you tell me one question, let's say from Wikipedia? Um, let's say who is Sachin Tendulkar? Okay, I'm just typing in.
What
So
if you write the wrong spelling?
um, see, LLM is smart enough. LLM will take care of it. See, in ChatGPT, if you put the wrong spelling, does it answer you?
If
It
you just
tries,
put
right?
who is Sachin, that's it. That's even not give
Uh,
Tendulkar. What will happen?
yeah,
Then it
let's
will.
do that. Yeah, let's do that. But for now, let me answer what it has given. So it went through the Wikipedia. So what it says, let's read it through. Uh, it is agent is giving a thought that I should research Simon's blog for Sachin Tendulkar. It does not found over there. So that's the pause it has taken. Now, no results found in Simon's blog. Now it is going. I should look for on Wikipedia then. Okay, then it is going to Wikipedia. See, it is reacting with respect to the need of the hour. Okay, we are not explicitly telling where to go for it. We have just given the query and it is performing the action accordingly. Uh, uh, and then it says running Wikipedia with Sachin Tendulkar, and it has given the information that Sachin Tendulkar is an Indian former international cricketer who captained. Uh, so uh, something it is not giving the complete answer because we have limited the output character. Born on April 24, 90. So it's working like a charm. Now let me um, address the point which even I don't know, to be honest. So until so let's just do that, and let's see how it responds. Wikipedia Sachin. So again, it is giving me the answer of Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. Maybe it is, as I said, we have implemented the memory as well, so it is going to store that. Anything else? Uh, so and you can tell
No,
me.
I think it's okay. Okay, who is Sachin Pilot?
Sachin pilot pilot. Let me search that, and you can see Sachin Pilot is an Indian politician, member of Indian
Yes.
National Congress. See, it is going to search for that Wikipedia only. Now, um, let's let's do some testing, one more testing. Let 5 minus 7, okay, sorry, it's just type 4. Okay, let's do 4 into 8. Now it has to use the calculate method. Ideally you should use that, right? We have given it, so it is saying that it is calling the action calculate, and it is passing the parameters as 4 by 8, and it is responding accordingly. Okay, and let's do some negative testing, because even I don't know that how it is, to be honest, how it is going to respond. um, I just created now in front of you, so I don't know how it um, going to respond. If anything it is not able to recognize, then we need to modify our code accordingly. But so on and so forth. Having said that, it says I'm not in my available actions, I'm ready to process this question. But then why it is not responding accordingly, I don't know. Maybe something, we need to fix in the code, but that's how it works in a way, right? So this is your first AI agent, which is a reactive AI agent. Let's do some more negative testing. I don't know how it will perform. um, can you tell me about um, top blog from Simon's blog? I don't know, right? I'm just putting something over there, and randomly I'm doing that. So it is hallucinating. It is not giving correct answers, but we have created our agent, and we need to fix it by modifying our code, or as and when needed we need to fine tune, and we need to maybe give more examples in our prompt. But let's see what it does. So it is saying why web applications are more popular than desktop investors. My answer web. So it is hallucinating. It is not giving us the correct answers. It seems the blog post discuss the investors web vertex application. No, it is not giving us the right answers for all the time. So that's about it. Any questions on? I can carry on and answer.
No, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think you might have learned, and the audience also learned something new today. And speaking about this error, I just wanted to say that it's very kind of a hello world program which we created in AI agents. It can be more refined, it can be more top notch, but again we need to. If I do that today, it will be more confusing for the people, and that's where I
No,
wanted to
that's
keep it
that's
simple.
perfectly okay. Yeah.
That's where I wanted to keep it simple. Yeah. Uh,
Don't worry,
uh,
we are
l-
going to have more sessions. It's not like this is our first AI, I mean
uh,
agent, but then not the last one, right?
correct,
So
correct,
definitely we will have more elaborated, more complex agents maybe in future, which
correct.
is like maybe a little bit more in depth. So yeah, that's perfectly okay.
Sure, sure. Um,
Yeah, anything else you want to add before we close?
no, I just want to say that I what I tried to cover, I just summarize. I told you about Google Colab. I told you about what are the AI agents, how the frameworks of AI agents look like, what are the type of agents. In this case, we worked on reactive AI agent. I told you about Grok API free to use model. What my what I wanted to achieve from this, or for you guys, was that you can create your first AI agent, which is free of cost. So that, see, at times, people may have limited knowledge around the payments, and they are scared enough to share their credentials or card details, right? And that's where the learning is minimized. But over here, that's what we are doing. That we are trying to do something which is, at least for the first time, you can do that for free, and it will give you in the confidence to create something else better tomorrow. So that's about it.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing your experience with all of us. And I thoroughly enjoyed this session. And friends, before we finish, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and by subscribing, you will stay updated with the latest industry tips, interviews, and career advice. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, keep achieving great things. This is Sunan Sharma signing off, and thank you, Tony, one more time.
Thank you, sir.